I knew not to. I knew I had the Fifth Amendment to remain silent.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. So he pulled you over, said your paper tag was partially obscured, um, and but then he just let you go. But did he give you a warning or anything?
he gave me warning. It was part of the Sandra Bland Act. I'm
Okay.
assuming they have to give warnings.
Yeah.
It's mandatory that they have to give a warning. So it just kind of made him look worse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he gave me a warning for something that was not even unlawful. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? So
Yeah.
What street was that on?
ran serious. Literally,
Oh.
majority of my
Yeah.
my interactions with the police are literally in the same neighborhood.
We looked at your YouTube channel, and um,
It is
It-
the no. What is it?
No
No.
question
No
about it.
question about it. How did you come up with that
Yeah.
name?
Well,
Sorry.
the stuff that we do, the kind of common term for it is auditing, where we kind of, we show up to government or publicly owned facilities, and we kind of just put a public eye on people that serve the public. It
Yeah.
could be, it could be at the airport, it could be a library, it could be a post office. But my main focus is public officials or the police.
Got it.
And so
Had you ever been arrested like for videotaping prior to this? Like, was this
No.
the first time
that was
that
my
had
first
happened?
time I ever got arrested.
Okay, ever, and just
Ever
like,
in
oh my
general.
god.
Yeah.
So that's kind of scary. Like, how did you feel as it's happening? Like, what was your thought process?
Well, my main thought process was just to document everything that they try to. That's another reason why I named myself No Question About It, is because number one, audit is not the common spelling. Like, so it's ABAUDIT. So it's like audit, like it's an audit. So I'm auditing the police as in the course of their duties, and the no question comes from me not answering questions. I that's what I kind of pride myself on, not answering questions. So it's kind of funny that I'm here answering questions, but
But you mean like not answering questions like with police, like
exactly.
yeah.
So
Because you have the right to not.
exactly, I have the Fifth Amendment right. So I don't answer questions, but I ask all the questions. So whether it be questions from the public, whether it be questions that I'm thinking about, like on previous traffic stops. I asked one time. I asked the cop about the Sandra Bland Act and why did I get that warning, and he kind of educated me. So it's kind of like an educational thing with me. I just love educating the general public and making sure everybody's informed about their rights, and that's kind of what brought how that situation came about.
Yeah. And did you see that Chief Kimball posted on Facebook that he's investigating it?
I did.
What are your kind of thoughts about that statement that he put out?
It was kind of misleading. I think it was. I don't think they kind of made it seem like I was the one that was arrested for the weapon. That's what it kind of.
Right. Yeah.
That's what when I first read it, I'm like, well, I wasn't. I didn't have no weapons.
Yeah.
So. But I know they had to. I was waiting on them. Like, why didn't they do it sooner? Because this video has been going viral like literally all weekend long.
Yeah.
And so I'm like,
I'm
glad that he did actually come out and address it. But I will be speaking with him soon.
Mm-hmm.
With Kimball?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Like, do y'all have a meeting scheduled?
I'm going to schedule one today.
Cool. Okay.
So you're not sure if he'll meet with you?
He has to meet one. He works for the public, so
Yeah.
there's no way if he does his job properly, he'll meet with him.
Right.
Can you take us through what happened on Saturday? How did you hear about that traffic stop first of all, and then just kind of take us through it?
Well, I like to skate. I like to walk in my immediate neighborhood, and so whenever I come across traffic stops on my travels,
yeah.
I just.
So you just
happened
to see it.
Absolutely.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So that's how all my videos come about.
Right.
Okay.
You don't listen to a police.
We were wondering,
scanner or
yeah,
anything
if
No,
you had a police
I
scanner
don't.
like
I don't
we
have.
do.
I mean, if y'all have one, I'll be more than happy to take one. That'll help me out tremendously.
They got apps. You can just download an
Oh,
app.
really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. If
Okay.
you want, yeah.
Yeah, I wish I
They're
wish I
not
had
always
known
the
that.
most accurate, but yeah, I was
Oh,
like,
okay.
man, he got there fast.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I was like, how did he know about it?
So you happened to see it, and then what happened from there?
And then as soon as I see the cherries and berries, I pop into action, hit record, and
Yeah.
I walking up. You seen from the video,
Mm-hmm.
everything that happened on the video was literally everything that happened.
Yeah.
So I started recording, and they kind of pointed me to the area where I needed to be, and I got to a safe distance, and they confirmed by saying, "Fantastic, thank you." So
Yeah,
I
they
confirmed,
even-
I was at a good distance.
So they knew you were recording, and initially they were fine with it. They were like, okay, you're right there,
Right,
you're
you're okay
good.
to record. When I
Okay.
got to my spot, he said, "Fantastic, thank you." And I was
Uh-huh.
just recording, and then I saw him. I had no clue about the guy that was already. I'm guessing they said they arrested somebody. I didn't see nobody get arrested, so he must have already been in the back of the car when I got there. And so I just saw one of the guys, Crumb, was talking with the guys and young guys in the back, and I'm looking at these guys. I'm like, they just running their mouth.
They don't even know.
They don't know their rights. They
Yeah.
don't know that they can just be quiet and unless they're being suspected of a crime, they have no obligation to speak with the public officials or produce identification unless they are suspected of a crime. So,
Yeah.
and so I just kind of verbalized that. I wasn't really talking to the guy specifically. I was narrating on my video feed.
Yeah.
And so I just kind of verbalized, you can't, you don't have to identify if you're a passenger in a traffic stop.
That's true. So, okay.
Is that a Texas law?
That's Texas State Law 38.02,
Mhm.
Texas Penal Code.
I've been told that you don't have to.
Yeah, unless you
ID.
lawfully arrested. It's not even really when you suspected of a crime. It's the law states when you are lawfully arrested. That's why when I got arrested, I felt that it was unlawful, so I didn't give them ID. I didn't have ID on me,
Okay.
and so they dug in my pockets and tried to find the ID. They didn't find the ID. They tried to get me to the ID myself,
Oh.
but I would not ID myself because number one, I felt it was an unlawful arrest,
Uh-huh.
and number two, I wanted to get confirmation from his supervisor, which I was asking for the whole time during the video to try to de-escalate the situation. I'm like, I was literally there for like less than a minute before that happened.
Yeah.
And so, I felt like they were waiting on me to do something, because I've seen plenty of people that do the same thing I do, and they're talking and they're doing whatever. So it's like, what if there were 50 people out there at the time?
Yeah.
And all the people could have, so everybody that opened their mouth gets arrested.
Yeah.
And so I found out that the charge that they charged me with wasn't the one that I thought it was. I thought it was the state law, which is interfering 38.15,
Yeah.
but it's actually a city ordinance that
mirrors
mirrors the state law minus the portion that helps me, which is in the state law it says in section D it says speech alone cannot be deemed interference.
And what's the number on that state law?
38.15 Texas Penal Code.
So you thought that you were covered under that.
Right. So, but the
ordinance.
kind of mirrors majority of that the state law minus that speech portion of it. So that ordinance is unconstitutional. So
when did police inform you which specific charge?
I didn't find out till I read the statement.
Well,
So I still haven't been
Kimball's
back up there. Right.
Yeah.
I still haven't been up there to get my my report and everything. I'm getting ready to go up there after this.
So in the video, it shows the officer starting to arrest you, and then did they take you to jail, the city jail, and book you?
Yeah, they took me down to the city jail and booked me, and
when did you get out?
they held me a lot longer than I needed to be because I wouldn't identify myself. And they told me that, until you fully identify yourself, I told them that, I would identify myself once I get confirmation from the supervisor that it was lawful arrest. And that was Sergeant Baez, was the supervisor on the night shift. And that's another thing I wanted to bring up with the chief. They didn't have a lieutenant on nights. Like the highest guy is a sergeant, which is pretty much the same rank as the guy that arrested me. So it's like he didn't care who. Like he said he was a super in the video. He said he was a supervisor.
Yeah.
So it's like
Sergeant. Yeah.
this is the top person on the shift right now, and you're arresting me for a constitutionally protected activity.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was just kind of like, y'all should have some higher leadership, somebody that can come down to the scene and de-escalate the situation, because I wasn't trying to be antagonistic or anything like that. I'm just exercising my right to free speech and informing the general public on their rights,
Do you think that KPD or any policy needs to change now in the aftermath of this, especially considering this is now becoming kind of a more common thing across the nation after what we've seen with some really unfortunate, murders, and so now it's more common for people to pull out their phone and record police officers.
Right.
Do you think some kind of training needs to take place so that KPD as a whole understands?
Yeah, I think that like with the what's his name, the guy that got killed,
Patrick Warren.
No, the guy in Minnesota.
Oh,
George Floyd.
Right. Yeah. So like with that situation, there was like probably a dozen people out there yelling at the cops and recording.
Yeah.
Right. So they did the exact same thing that I did, which is practice free speech and practice free press.
Distance.
Yeah, the safe distance, and
they were recognized.
They were exactly.
For,
you got a journalistic award or something like that for that.
And
but I think that like I said, the city ordinance that they're charging me with is unconstitutional, because how can you criminalize a constitutionally protected activity such as free speech?
Yeah.
So that's going to be my main goal, because the ordinance is only like it's a Class C misdemeanor. So it's they from the jailers told me that it was similar to a traffic ticket.
Oh yeah.
So I'm like, why are you keeping me in jail? They kept me down there. And once I confirmed with Sergeant Byers that it was a lawful arrest, I said, okay, I'll give you my first, my name and my date of birth, which is what I'm required by law, as far as I know, 38.02, name, date of birth, and that's the only thing you require to identify yourself, and that should be everything that they need to identify me. And so they wanted to get all kind of other information, like data, work history, height, weight, address, and all kind of personal information. I'm like, well, I just been kidnapped. Why would I give you that information? So they kept me in there for like 12 hours. And
you get out Sunday?
Well, it happened early Saturday morning. So I got out there Saturday afternoon, and while I was in the cell, I kept trying to, raise my concerns and try to get people to, because they denied me medical, they denied me phone calls, and I was and only because I wouldn't give them the extra information that they were asking for, and all I was telling them was, if I'm required by law, I would give it to you. But they couldn't tell me what law that says I needed to provide it, so they punished me because I wouldn't give them information that I'm not required to give them, and they switched me from a regular cell to a padded cell for like psychiatric patients. And so I ended up standing there for like 12 hours.
It's on a timer. And Sergeant Bias, how do you spell his last name?
Bias. Z Bias is first.
And he was the person in charge of the shift.
Yeah, the shift commander.
Can you tell me, I'm not going to ask any other personal info, but can you tell me, are you a Killeen resident? Is that safe? Okay, I can't say that. Okay.
And then when you got out of jail, is that when you posted the video?
Yes.
And is it we're looking at your YouTube page, is it has it gotten more views than any other of your videos?
Well, my video with with Officer Moody, the one I told you about the traffic stop.
Yeah.
That video has went crazy.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, so that kind of like really
That was
started
the
me
first one.
Mhm.
Yeah.
kind of getting on you on social media and doing this.
How many, if you could guess, how many traffic stops have you done this at since you started?
I would probably say approximately 50.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've just been doing it for a couple of months.
And then if you could guesstimate, like out of those 50, how often did things kind of escalate to the, like, has it only happened the one time where it's escalated to something
Yeah, that's
like
the
this?
first. That was the only time that it escalated. I mean, I've had other instances. I'm sure you've seen some of the videos on there where I've just kind of had little back and forth with some of the officers on the
But
scene.
never this far.
But never escalated to this point.
Okay.
Can we get your photo? If I get a
Even if we don't.
like.
Yeah, that's
You don't
fine.
have
I
to
don't
do
mind
this.
if you take a photo.
Yeah.
Okay, is that okay? Well, thank you so much for meeting with
Yeah,
us.
absolutely.
Like,
Thank
I
you
think,
for taking the time out to
like
see
I
me.
said in my email, I very much think that this is a great way to, I mean, it's not that your arrest, I hate that happened, but like just it's a great way to educate the public on what their rights really are so that nobody else finds themselves in your situation, and then also without the knowledge on how to protect themselves in that situation. Because I'm sure like a lot of people who maybe don't have the knowledge that you have might have given up a lot of their information, might have, you know, could have gone a lot differently. So
Yeah, for sure.
yeah, so I think it's an important topic. I think it's really interesting that KPD so quickly responded, because I mean there have been other incidents where we try to get them to make a comment on. You would think that they would make a comment and they don't tell us anything for like a week, but you post this video and man, you must have done something right, because they commented really quickly.
Well, it was, with that community, we call it, the technical term is auditing, but a lot of the guys that do the things that I do, they don't like the term. Some of them go by activists, some of them go by, my thing is I go by advocate for accountability. That's my main thing. I advocate for accountability. And so that community is the one that really spurred it, because I had one guy, he posted, he went to, they redress their grievances. Whenever something like this happens, everybody that follows that community and that are a part of that community, they redress their grievances with the police station by making phone calls, emails, or whatever connection. City council has some people contact the council members. I think one of the council members made a statement as well about it.
Really?
Yeah.
Was it Melissa Brown?
I believe it was Miss Brown.
She's usually the first to come out.
Yeah, I
and
believe
say
it was
something.
Miss Brown.
I'll check her.
Yeah, check her page.
Her page and
Facebook.
see.
She said something about it.
Okay.
So yeah, she, that all comes from that community. They make phone calls, they shoot emails, they make complaints on behalf of you. I've had people contact the ACLU of Texas, and
I was gonna say,
it's a lot of things that they put in motion. They actually made a comment and started flooding the KPD's Facebook page about it.
Who did?
The community that I'm in,
of other people who do.
other activists in the community that follow us. They started flooding the KPD webpage, flooding the KPD's dispatch, making phone calls and just redressing their grievances. And then somebody shared one of the videos from the KPD page to the What's Happening in Killeen. I'm not sure if y'all familiar.
That's how I found your
that's
video.
how y'all found about it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's why I reached out to you.
Yeah. It's all over.
I just found out because I posted it on TikTok, and literally in 2 days it went to like 100,000 views almost.
On TikTok?
On TikTok.
Dang,
I'm like,
see,
wow.
I didn't
if
even
y'all not
check
on
that.
TikTok, y'all need
Yeah.
to get on there, 'cause y'all stories are flying
So
out
that's
fast.
where it gets big, I guess.
Yeah, the kids on the TikTok.
I just don't know how to do the TikTok. But
Yeah,
I
the
need
new
to figure
generation,
it out.
they learning this stuff so fast,
Yeah.
and I'm glad that I got on there, because those are the more younger generation, and they're the ones that really need to be informed. Just like that night at the traffic stop, I feel like the youth is the ones that really they really need to be informed. But I feel they are the most informed at this point, because they have everything at the tip of their fingers from a baby.
You just need to look it up. Which isn't hard nowadays.
Absolutely.
Can we get your age?
I'm
Or even a general range, like would
I'm
you say a
in
decade?
mid-30s.
Okay, cool. And so you were saying ACLU, some people have possibly contacted, we were thinking of reaching out to them since this might be like a free speech, situation that they would comment on. Have you contacted an attorney, or do you have plans on contacting an attorney?
I do. I
Yeah.
have been in contact with attorneys, and I plan on fighting my case, obviously, and
Yeah.
and my main goal is because I'm it's not really a serious charge, but the fact that I had to spend 12 hours in jail and be treated like the way I did while I was in jail, they're going to be held accountable for that.
Yeah.
And they're also going to be held accountable for putting in an ordinance that is unconstitutional.
Yeah.
So that's going to be my main goal, is to get that ordinance wiped off the books, and or not even wiped off the books. They just need to change it. So
Yeah.
I'm going down to the city council meeting today,
Okay.
and I'm going to be.
They don't meet today.
Oh, there's no meeting today?
I think it's because of
Because
holidays.
of the holidays, yeah.
Man.
Yeah, they're done.
Next-
They're done for the month. But
Oh, okay.
January?
The first week of January.
Okay,
They'll
so
start
I'll
back
definitely be at that
Yeah.
meeting and try to.
But that doesn't mean you can't
Well, no,
contact
that's-
City Hall or
Yeah.
the council members.
They
Yeah,
might
that's
still
what I'm
be-
gonna do.
yeah.
Around.
Right now. So what I'll do
Yeah.
today is I'll go up there and find out the process of getting that item put on the next
Okay.
meeting.
Yeah.
Why don't you want to say your name? Say who you are.
Well, that's just kind of my thing. I just like with the arrest. I like to keep my information private, just because the people in my community will clown on me if I was to no question about it. That's kind of like my moniker.
Yeah.
Whenever you see me, I always have the big beats and bow tie. My beats are representative of the
Right.
community that surrounds me,
Mm-hmm.
and the bow ties are I'm originally from Detroit, Michigan, so
Oh, cool.
we fresh to death all day.
My dad's
every
from
day.
Detroit. He's from Taylor, Michigan, which is like one of those
Okay.
little tiny little
Yeah, I know where that is.
communities, and small.
So the YouTube is no question about it, but you go by the public.
Yeah, whenever
person.
whenever somebody asks me what's your name, I'm the public, so I represent the general public.
Okay.
Now we've asked police some questions.
What was the temperature with the police?
First off, we wanted to know: is it an internal affairs investigation?
Okay, that's a good
Which-
question.
Yeah.
It seems like it is.
It should be.
You know,
Yeah.
and the chief says they're investigating it, but
Mhm.
usually if
We
police are-
investigated ourselves
Yeah.
and we found no wrongdoing.
Yeah.
That's gonna be the next thing to come out.
Yeah.
So, but KPD, like pretty much all police departments, they have an internal affairs department, which looks into, possible wrongdoings of police officers. So we think that's what it is, but we're asking them point blank, is this an internal affairs investigation? We've asked them for the full names of the
nice.
police officers.
That's a
who are
good
at the
question.
scene. I think we have the last
Yeah, we
names.
know
got
the
my
last
brain going
names.
down.
Yeah.
And then what else did we ask?
We asked if the reason he actually made a statement, or the reason he investigated this, is because it went viral on social media and there was such a
Yeah, in Kimball's statement, he said something, because of the public interest in this, we are doing an investigation. Well, is that the only reason?
Yeah.
Because the public is interested?
Right.
So we're not, but,
Yeah.
but, so, and then,
Yeah,
we've also, and we wonder too, if the police officers who it seems to be are under investigation, are they just
Administrative.
back on patrol, or are they?
I'll find
Are
out
they
soon.
at
I'm
home?
gonna be out
I
there
mean,
every day
what's
for
going
that.
on with them? Because sometimes if a police officer is under investigation, then they're
Placed
on
administrative
leave.
leave. Put them on
Desk
vacation.
duty, yeah.
They go on
desk duty,
vacation
something
pretty
like
much.
I know.
And then now we've asked for your name
Mhm.
from police
They
Yeah.
and the
yeah.
police report.
Yeah,
So-
you can get all that information from the police report, but I'm definitely not gonna
Yeah,
give it out. So,
I understand.
and I would ask you, as a fellow journalist, I would ask that you not put my information out. But that's your discretion. You do what
Yeah.
you want to do. But
Well,
that's,
see, yeah, I hear what you're saying, and I understand. You've got like an online reputation
Mhm.
you're trying to stick with.
Right.
The
Mhm.
public, almost like a public.
It's like
Um,
your
Well, in
student.
that term, auditor, I
Mhm.
think of an auditor as someone who like is involved in money and checks to make sure all the money's okay. But this
Mhm.
is a different kind of audit. This
Yeah.
is like an audit to make sure police are doing their job and
Not just
and
police,
not
but
Public
all
entities.
public
other
officials
they're not up
are
to
just
funny business or doing
Yeah.
things they shouldn't be doing. So that makes sense to me. Um, at the same time, as a newspaper covering the city of Killeen, we name names.
Okay.
I'm not.
That's fine.
I'm not
It's,
gonna,
I mean, I'm
yeah.
not worried about my, because like I
Yeah.
said, they already stole my name when they
They got-
arrested me.
They
So,
got it.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
And
so
then-
my name is gonna be out there
yeah,
at some point,
and
but
like
you're
you
not
say,
gonna
you're
get it from me.
I understand.
Like you
Yeah.
say, you're gonna fight it too, so it's gonna go through the court system.
Yeah.
Now it's the city court system because the city
Yeah.
court handles misdemeanor cases.
Mhm.
Okay.
Do you have a hearing date? Did they do that?
January the 5th.
Oy.
And if y'all want to come up there,
Right, yeah.
So my guess is, you're gonna go before the judge and state your case. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
they're gonna, it's
think-
gonna come up in court, your name.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know
for
what I
sure.
mean?
Yeah.
So, and we're also asking for the arrest affidavit, which is basically a kind of a summarized police report.
Oh, okay.
And the officers that were there that arrested you, they're the ones who wrote it.
They have to
So,
write it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, we don't have that, but
Yeah.
we're asking for it.
Do you have,
So, go ahead.
do you have plans to continue, like, as you kind of said, like, are you going to keep on videotaping, like, through the holidays, like, anytime you see
Oh,
one?
I was out there the
like,
very same day
What?
I was released. I was right back out there
Ah.
doing the exact same thing. So
wow.
I would not be intimidated by any means.
Okay.
I know the things that I do is it could be potentially dangerous, and when you're dealing with a big entity such as police, I know that it's very risky, and then I know that things like that can happen. When you're dealing with guys that a lot of them they know their job just enough to do it.
Yeah.
Just to do it sort of quote unquote properly, but everybody makes mistakes, and I know those things are gonna happen, but that's the risk that I take, because I feel so strongly about doing this, and it's very rewarding for me, and I feel like I'm helping out my community.
Yeah.
Well, you're making people aware of their rights.
Yeah.
Yes,
And
if
that is-
anything,
that is-
if anything came out of this,
Yeah.
everybody should know. If you're a passenger, you don't have to identify. If
See,
somebody don't know,
I didn't know that.
Oh, you didn't know
I,
that?
I
didn't
knew
know
that, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
What kind of feedback have you got from
Yeah.
the public?
It's a mixed feedback. A lot of people, most of people that are misinformed are the ones that believe that I was in the wrong.
And they think
And-
people should just do what police say all the time.
Exactly.
Mhm.
And a lot of people are once when they see police, before I started doing this, I used to just be like shaking in my boots when I see the police behind me.
Mhm.
And whenever, even though you committing no crimes, but when the police is in front of you and he's asking you these questions,
Yeah.
you feel like you have to prove that you're innocent, even though it's their job to prove that you're guilty.
Mhm.
And so, the general public they would do anything the officer asks, including give them permission to violate their rights,
Yeah.
in order to just prove that they're innocent. And when in fact the sole purpose of an officer is to indoctrinate you into a system.
Mhm.
That's why I kind of nickname them system secretaries, because their sole purpose is to get you get some type of charge or get some type of situation, run you for warrants. That's why they always asking for ID.
Mhm.
They're trying to get you, indoctrinated into a system so they can generate revenue for the state.
Mhm.
So you said you were nervous that first time you got pulled over,
Yeah, for sure.
but now
Now when I
Being
see
around
police,
police.
I'm following them. I'm like, where y'all going?
and that is a result of mostly what, just your own education, that the law.
The community that I'm in,
Yeah.
I literally, I've researched the law, because we see the same thing that happened to me. There's millions of videos on YouTube and different social media about the same type of
where
stuff.
an auditor gets arrested.
Right. So or just people in the general public. getting arrested.
Yeah.
So when you watch these videos, you're learning about the laws that apply to that state. And you know,
Yeah.
I mainly watch a lot of videos from Texas police interactions, which helps me educate myself. And you seeing the law in motion. You know what I'm saying? So you're learning as you know on the go. But as an auditor, you have to make sure you understand the law before you get out there and start recording police. Because like I said, anything can happen.
Yeah.
Do you make any compensation or money off these videos in any way?
I'd rather not say.
And do you have a background in studying law or anything like this, or did this
But
all
you're
really
really
just start in
familiar.
February?
I literally just started doing this in February.
Okay.
Wow. So you
Well,
just,
not even in February. I started like watching the videos probably sometime after that
Yeah.
arrest,
And it kind of gradually.
or not even arrest, with
Yeah.
that traffic stop,
Mhm.
Right.
you know. And then I just started educating myself from
Yeah.
watching other guys and doing it.
okay.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, it got to the point where I'm driving by like, should I do it? Because you know it's you get that rush and you like, should I pull over and see and start recording?
Yeah.
You know, and there's a couple of guys in the community that kind of motivated me to do it by the things they were saying. And it just once you start knowing the law and you start seeing the law in action,
Yeah.
you start realizing like the police really don't know what they're doing out there. That's why they always calling for supervisors, and that's why they're always arresting people unlawfully.
And when you're recording and you see or hear something that's an infringement, you call it out right then and
I
there.
call it out, no question about it.
And just like when they ask the passengers for their ID, like
Yeah.
you don't have
Like
to.
another situation, I saw a guy with, I've learned since that traffic stop, I learned about why did they give me a paper warning,
Mhm.
and that paper warning came from the Sandra Bland situation,
Okay.
where I'm not sure if y'all familiar with that. That
Yeah.
happened out in Texas, where a woman was on a traffic stop. She was
Yeah.
voiceful. She did the same thing that I did, and she was
She
killed
just
for it.
stood up for yeah.
You know, she stood up. She knew her rights just like I did, and she voiced. She didn't do it in a way that I did it. You know, she was a little more, loud with it, and just kind of, it was kind of escalated. I think maybe if she had been a little more cool under pressure, but it's when in that situation is you never know what could happen. So, but they killed her over the same thing that they arrested me for, which is free speech.
Yeah.
And
Now, and you're not stopping. You're going to continue to give videos.
absolutely.
Do you encourage other members of the public, like if they feel the same way or they have?
Whenever I see somebody on the traffic stop or after the stop, I go up to them and educate them like what they could have did better and what they should do when next time they get accosted by police, which is remain give them. Only thing you required is you probably seen one of my videos where the guy pulled me over in Texas, and he pulled me over, and matter of fact, the Moody video, that's why I went viral, because I asserted my right to remain silent.
Mm-hmm.
So this, with the Sandra Bland Act, they're not allowed. They have to document all traffic stops, whether they give you a warning or not. That's why that act came into place, because Sandra Bland, they try to make it seem like she never even got pulled over, and she ended up dead in a jail cell. So, so they make it mandatory, whether you get a ticket or not, that you have to get some type of documentation that you had contact with the officer. And I forgot where I was going with it, but
Moody.
Yeah, with that Moody stop, I can't remember.
Did you say he helped educate you in a way?
Well, he helped spur my interest in doing this, because I felt like if that happened in my immediate neighborhood, so I'm like, and this is all Black and brown community, and I'm like, well, so if he's doing this to me, I got a paper tag. Obviously, the car is brand new. I know. I since then I've heard that paper tags are kind of like they fabricating a lot of paper tags out here, but I'm like, if he's doing this to me, law-abiding citizen, I'm doing the speed limit, whatever, and I'm in my community, hard worker. If he's doing this to me, who else is he doing it to? So that's what kind of sparked me to pick up a camera.
Will you tell us, do you have a day job or what you do?
I'd rather not say.
Okay. Have you ever felt in danger when you've been in these situations?
Well, you always have a certain level of fear. It's not as much as I did when I first started,
Mhm.
but it's like once you do it the first time, you kind of understand that, like, you I know the law better than you,
Mm.
officer. So you can do whatever you want. I know there's a chance that I can get brutalized. I could have got beat up or even killed that night, but that's something that I'm willing to that's the risk that I'm willing to take.
Yeah. Got it. Um,
Can we get your phone number in case we need to call you? We
Well,
wouldn't
no, you can
publish.
contact him through that email.
oh yeah, I got his
That's
email
fine.
through that.
Mhm.
Yeah. I'm trying to think.
And I don't mind if y'all could put my name up there, but I'm not gonna give you my
Yeah.
name. You just have to find it out through
That's
your
yeah.
channels.
We don't have it yet. Well,
Well,
unless it's we
unless we get the affidavit.
yeah.
Yeah, y'all can
But
get
we
that
linked it
affidavit.
to a Facebook page, Kevin Jr.
Well, I just saw. I don't. And I mean,
Or is that
like,
somebody
even if
else?
we say it, yeah, even if we say it out loud, I doubt you would confirm it. But
Yeah.
I don't know. There was
Sorry.
somebody commenting as
Mhm.
if he was that person in the video, and his name was Kevin Jr. according to
okay.
Facebook. But I don't know. I messaged that guy too. I don't know if that's you or not.
But it's out, your video is out there.
I know
Yeah,
multiple
on
people have picked
multiple
it up.
YouTube
Yeah.
channels, like you say, TikTok.
Mhm.
It's
Mhm.
getting and it's gotten the attention of the Killeen police chief,
Mhm.
and
As it should.
it would have been his decision, I'm pretty sure, to do an investigation,
Mhm.
and that just doesn't happen.
Yeah.
For,
Like I
internal
said,
affairs.
Really?
We
Well-
have rare. I mean, like we had a
Yeah.
man who was shot and killed in his front yard in
Oh
January,
yeah, I
and it
remember
still
that.
took him like 4 days
mentally.
to say, and he was mentally,
Yeah, Patrick. Warren.
he was having
Mhm.
mental health issues, and it took them like what 4 days before they said that the guy was on administrative leave, and
Wow.
Yeah, KPD can be.
they can be
my
slow on
opinion,
stuff. But in this, they were pretty fast. So your
wow.
social media video
Yeah.
really might have been the
So,
reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's that all is credit to the community that I serve. You
Yeah.
know, they are really proactive, and if because not everybody has the courage to pick up the cameras, but some people have the courage to be in the background and supporting the people with the cameras by, like I said, shooting them emails, making those phone calls, redressing their grievances with the government, and supporting us in that way. And I'm definitely very appreciative of it. They've been very instrumental in getting this video out like that.
Yeah. Well, we're big on free speech here, so
Okay.
I
will
mean,
also. That's why I'm like, I'm gonna come in here and record. I'm like, I hopefully, and I don't know if y'all remember, I was the one that was
we
standing
were
outside.
wondering if that was you. We were like,
Yeah,
are we on
that was
his?
me. I was standing out.
We were
I remember
like,
you too. Both of y'all came walking by, and I was standing out there
We were
recording.
like,
I did an
was
audit on
wondering-
I did an
was
audit
gonna
on
ask
Killeen
you.
Herald. I'm like, let me see if they. I'm like, they a media company, so they shouldn't have a
Well,
problem
I
with
just
it.
waved. Yeah, I just waved and said, like, "Are you okay? You need any help?" Because we've had people with their cars stranded in our parking lot. There's been times where people genuinely needed help. So I was one of the ones who was like, "Hey, you need help?"
I remember you. Like, I did that's why I didn't respond. I hit y'all with a silent audit.
Okay.
That's what we call a silent audit, where you don't respond
Aw.
because I'm like, if
At the time, I'm just gonna give you some background. We've also had this other guy who's been like threatening to kill us. So like
oh wow,
any kind of like hesitation on our part is because we had a whole nother situation where a guy
sometimes
had, like,
we print things that
Yeah.
people don't like.
yeah.
Okay,
So
okay.
we've had threats.
Yeah, I
But like,
understand that.
yeah. So.
And I wouldn't have minded if y'all would have called the police. I would have definitely
No.
welcomed their attention.
But we didn't do anything
No,
wrong. We were
yeah.
just we were puzzled.
And I
Yeah.
think one
You
of
were
the
on public
secretaries
property.
came out and she spoke
Yeah.
with me, and I kind of have a soft spot for the elderly, so I'm like, I'm not gonna give her the silent treatment.
Well, good.
And the public is now capital the
Capital
TH.
P.
Well,
Capital T.
I'm the public.
Yeah.
I'm the public.
Oh,
so,
I'm the public.
Yeah, so if
So you go
anybody
by-
asks me, what's your name? I'm the public. So when I go request the chief, when I speak to his secretary, they're gonna ask me, what's your name? I'm the public. That's who want to speak to the chief. I'm the public.
I'm the public. So capital I apostrophe M and then you do a capital P.
Yeah.
Public.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, or you could just put no question about it. That's
Yeah.
really my.
I was gonna say,
You don't have a business card, do you?
Nah, if y'all know how y'all got some hookups on the business cards.
We
Okay.
make those here. You
Oh,
can-
really?
Yeah.
Oh,
Graphic
yeah.
design.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna
Um,
definitely be in touch with that.
Well,
Well-
I was thinking no question about it because that's
Yeah,
your
just
YouTube
use no
channel.
question about it. That
I
kind
was
of links
gonna-
my channel,
yeah.
so
Yeah.
you could just
Because
use
that's
that.
like your business name essentially, like you know.
Absolutely.
So, if that's okay, we might just do that, but we'll also say the public too, obviously. Well, that's a lot of information. We asked you a bunch of questions. I can't think if there's anything else. And I have your email, so if there is anything else. And as things progress, like for instance, this meeting with Kimball, we'd love to hear your feedback
Yeah,
on
how
like
that
what
goes.
Well, I mean,
happened.
if you follow my YouTube, I post
You're
a
gonna
lot of my
Okay.
updates and stuff on that page.
Okay.
So
All right. Well, we'll be following, and I'll email you. You know, if I have anything. And
yeah, and if
January
y'all find
5th.
some extra stuff that I don't have, then
Yeah.
please don't be
We
shy
will.
with it.
Yeah, if anybody reaches out to us with any extra information, we'll definitely reach out. And then the January 5th date, I mean, I'd love to put that on my calendar to show up there wherever your hearing is. If you want to just, whenever you get that information, if you want to
Okay.
email it to me or
Absolutely.
whatever,
Yeah, definitely.
because it never hurts to have an extra pair of
Oh,
eyes,
yeah,
as you know.
absolutely. Yeah, for sure.
Well, you have a very good case because from everything you said, the state law doesn't match up with the city law.
Exactly.
And I've always heard state law supersedes city law. So
Yeah, but I believe, unless they dismiss the charge, that'll be probably the more logical thing to do.
yeah,
Is just dismiss the charges and let me go on about my life.
yeah.
Mhm.
And then
But-
they'll be done with it.
Yeah, but I already know it's gonna be a fight. They're probably not gonna dismiss the charges, and more than likely they're gonna find me guilty because the law is the law. What it is, as it's written right now, the ordinance
city
says,
law,
interference. It don't strictly say whether speech is excluded
Yeah.
from it or not. So
Yeah.
the law is what it is right now. So it's more than likely I'm going to be found guilty, and I'll have to appeal it to a higher court, and then in the process get that ordinance rewritten.
Do you know how long that city law has been on the books?
I have
Been
no
around?
clue.
Okay.
We'll look into it. That's really interesting.
Well, those laws probably certainly need an update because
Absolutely.
there's so much more video going on right now.
Mhm.
It's
Yeah.
just,
And I've
everyone
had
has a
plenty of
camera,
interactions where I've been more boisterous than I've been more voiceful than I was in that situation. Nobody's ever said something, so you.
We've had reporters who've been more boisterous, like
Yeah.
in that situation. I mean, so like it's just, it's really
like
shocking.
it can happen to one of y'all.
Yeah. It's
If
shocking.
you sitting there having a conversation, you could be talking with each other, and the cop overhear you talking with each other, and he look over you. Oh, now he's distracted. Now you just committed the crime. So that's pretty much what it is.
Those two cops that were there that night, had you ever dealt with them before, seen them?
I don't know if I've dealt with them directly, but I can tell by what he was saying that he knew, he got the temperature from what I did, maybe from other officers, because he was like, "You think you know the law?" And you could tell he was, just by his body language, he was ready to react to anything that I was doing that night.
Yeah.
But I
What would you like KPD to know, like about you and like what you're doing, like for these other officers who might come into contact with you?
Like I tell all the officers on the scene that are willing to talk with me. I've had, like, I'm sure you might have seen some of my videos. I had a good conversation with Officer Tressel, and he's like one of my favorite officers in KPD. He sat there and chopped it up with me for like probably 30-40 minutes. I might be getting him in trouble. He's doing that on the clock, but but he literally talked with me, and I asked him about the Sandra Bland Act and why did I get that warning, and I'm just asking questions, and he tried to get my name, of course, no question about it. I didn't give him my name, but he normally, I talk with a lot of cops, and the ones that's willing to speak with me, and let them know I'm not here with any nefarious intent. I'm here just to literally document and record you in the course of your duties. And whatever you do, that's what's going to be put out. So it's the ones, it seems like the ones that have a problem with the camera are the ones that need to be recorded.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much what I would tell them. If you're not doing nothing wrong, then you shouldn't have nothing to worry about. So don't be afraid of the camera.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for talking to us. Like,
Thank you for
thank
taking the
you.
time.
Yeah. We are very interested, so keep us in the loop if you don't mind, and
I'll
I'll
keep you in the loop
I'll
on
keep
on
messaging you and
it'll be
emailing
good for
you.
y'all to just show
Yeah.
up to the court date.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it might be a misdemeanor, but it's still something that, you know.
Yeah, because like I said, we need to get that ordinance off the books because,
Yeah.
like I said, it can happen to y'all too.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So
Yeah.
y'all better be careful when y'all out there.
All right, no question about it.
All right, yeah.
Thank
Thanks
you
for y'all
so much,
time.
yeah.
Y'all take care.
Thank you, sir.
Nice to
It was
meet
so
you.
nice meeting you.
Oh yeah,
All right.
likewise.
Nice to meet you.
Take
Yeah,
care.
feel free to call us anytime.
Oh, I will. Sure, for sure, for sure.
It's not the hardest place to get out.
Oh yeah. So y'all doing some renovating.
Yeah, right. We need to sell all these things.
Right.
Well, happy holidays.
Oh yeah, same to you and your
I
family.
hope it goes well.
Oh yeah, I'm sure it will at some point.
Okay. All right.
All right,
Take
thanks
care.
you too. Bye
Good
bye.
luck today.
Thanks. All right, y'all got another exclusive. I think that was a really good interview. A lot better than the first one I did. You know, Killeen, Herald seem like they're more for, you know, like they say they more for the freedom of speech and the freedom of press, which they should be. You know, and they seem like they're willing to at least advocate for me to a certain extent, and you know, just put it out to the masses and make things right. That's all you can really ask for, is it just make it right. Like, I know you messed up, you know, account for it, you know, own it, and just make it right. That's all we can really ask for as people, because we all make mistakes, and you know, we all mess up sometimes. So, but the thing about it is, once you mess up, you know, it's important that you try to make things right. And I think they doing a good job. Like, I really enjoyed them. I don't know if y'all heard. That's the same. I'm gonna have to post that video now. I did an audit with I did an audit on Killeen Herald once. I just happened to be walking by. I didn't even know the Killeen Herald was there. And I'm like, I wonder if they gonna be tripping about me doing a audit. I hit their ass with a solid audit. What's up, Big B Nation? Ah, back, Big B's in a bow tie. What's going on? FMV in the building. WR, Merry Christmas to you. Mazanga. I was trying to get your I couldn't find your YouTube earlier. I was trying to tag you into that post I did early, Mazanga. I definitely, you've been like one of the main ones. I think you from somewhere out there in Europe somewhere. Got a lot of people following me from across the pond, or not really following, but a part of the Big B Nation across the pond. And Mazanga just been very, he's been right there with me, damn near on all the traffic stops. It's be late at night. It must be like daytime over there. So, but Mazanga been right there with me. I definitely appreciate you, Mazanga. I wanted I was trying to get your YouTube and tag you in that post I did earlier. Same thing with the Butler Collective and Kibo as well. I couldn't find y'all y'all stuff. But yeah, I definitely appreciate you, Mazanga, for being right there with me step by step. We got Watching White Code, the Butler Collective, Big B Nation in the building. We got the 5 Mile Veteran. We got Rose M. What's going on? Sick Ass Fool. What's up? Yeah, I appreciate y'all. What's going on? But yeah, so I kind of, I was gonna do my live later on once I got up to the PD, but I'm gonna see if the Killeen Herald gonna be tripping about me doing the video. They didn't know I was live though. So they I'm like, shoot, that was some good stuff. I like the questions they were asking, and then I got some insight on what they was actually trying to do on the other side too. So they trying to see what type of investigation is going on. And yeah, definitely gonna have to get out there and Boots on the ground out here in Killeen, man. The boy said I'm back like herpes. Damn, boy. Yeah, you definitely back. Shit, back like I left something. Okay, yeah. If I make it towards Dallas, I just came from Dallas, but yeah, we definitely gonna be making our way all across the state. Me and my man's 5 mile veteran and News Now Ninja, all the guys, and the other couple other guys that I found out that was out here doing a thing. I tagged them in the post too. We gonna be out there all across the state doing our thing. Okay, yeah, I'll give you a call. Yeah, but definitely yeah, I think just the community, like I said, the community is in the whole has been just crazy, and it like you just commented, the brave you have to have a ton of courage to do this. So, whoever, if you're following somebody and you can support them, you know, I would highly advise you to do that because the support is 100% needed and 100% welcomed. By everybody that's in there. You follow them, some of your favorite activists that's out there doing their thing. Show them some love whenever you can. Always. If you even if you you're not, even if you don't have the time to watch their video, just scroll by, hit a like, drop a comment real quick or something just to help out their numbers and get their videos out there, share it to different groups. That's kind of how my video got crazy. Was somebody from the community shared it in the group. So shout out to Big B Nation. They the ones that really got the ball rolling with this. And like I said, I got the best nation on YouTube with me. Yeah. Yeah, definitely appreciate y'all. So let me go through the comments, see what y'all talking about. Hey, I hope everybody doing well, man. And actually, I got 2 more interviews today too. I got an interview with a podcast. I can't remember the name of it right now, but I'm gonna post the names of it. I don't know if y'all seen the statement from Chief Kimball. They was talking about it during the interview, but they didn't actually charge me with the state statute 3815. They charged me with a city ordinance of it's called 16-107, Killeen city code or city ordinance. And it's pretty much mirrors the first portion of the state statute 38.15, but it doesn't have the portion that helps me, which is section D in the state penal code says speech alone is a defense. It don't have that portion in the city ordinance. So like I said, what's going to end up happening is I'll have to fight that charge, and maybe I win, maybe I lose. More than likely I'll probably lose because the law is the law, and black and white. Ain't no judge probably ain't gonna, because they know like it's a lot of ramifications for what happened. But so they more than likely gonna find me guilty of the city code. But I'm prepared to take it all the way. I'm not taking no pleas so they can hang it up, because I'm not just doing this for myself. I'm doing this for everybody that's going to be going through this in the future. Just like when I took that L, I took that ride. If anything, tons and millions of people know that you don't have to ID as a passenger. If you ain't learned anything throughout this ordeal, if you a passenger in the vehicle and you get pulled over, your ass better not be fucking pulling out no ID card. I know that much, because I'm gonna be like, damn, that boy, no question about it, rolling over in his grave right now. but yeah, it'll definitely get appealed. I'm gonna be going through getting all that appealed if I'm found guilty, and at some point. And like I said, I'm gonna be up at the next. I'm going up to the matter of fact, I'm gonna do that right now. I'm gonna go to the city council building and try to find out how do I get that item put on the next council meeting or whatever future council meeting. And so I'm gonna document that portion. I'm probably gonna go live. I might just do a static, but I'm gonna document that portion of it, and so everybody who needs to put something on the item at a city council meeting, they'll know how to do that. And yeah, we're gonna have to get that ordinance rewritten. So it might not help me out in my case, but it'll help speed up the process of getting that changed. At least I think. I'm not even sure that's how it go, but I'm assuming that's the way that it goes. Yeah, I appreciate you, John Brown. Much you said, much respect, no question. Keep doing you. Our country needs it. Yeah, definitely. And like I was telling my brother, it's needed in every community across the country. And it's obviously I got what 16 people watching right now, and so it's this community is supportive of each other, but it's good content because you don't know what can happen on any traffic stop or any type of interaction with law enforcement. So the content is going to always be there, and then on top of that, you're doing something to help your community. But the laws, they don't like that. They don't like when you pretty much we taking money out of their pocket. I'm gonna post a video probably later on today or tomorrow where I had a situation where my amigos he got pulled over. Looked like he was a hardworking man. Had a bucket, a bunch of paint buckets in his truck. Had the cowboy boots, had a cowboy hat. I'm like, that's Texas style right there. They was trying to see if suspected him of a DUI. And I'm like, he wasn't wobbling, he was talking, he wasn't slurring. Like you could tell he obviously was not drinking. But they were trying to, hit him with a DUI, and he wouldn't. He was acting like he couldn't speak good Spanish, and he definitely wasn't speaking English. So I'm like, I was wondering why because they end up getting an interpreter out there. But I was out there, and that was like right after I got arrested, and so I'm gonna post that video. But he was out there, and they ended up arresting him, but because he had some warrants. I'm like, that might be why his ass was trying to act like he don't speak English or Spanish. but yeah, it was. I forgot where the hell I was going with it, but let me see. A request from the city. In the end, you will win and have it change. Yeah, I'm not even worried about it. I mean, at the end of the day, it's just like I said, it's a misdemeanor, but the fact it's a class C misdemeanor, which is similar to a traffic ticket. So I'm like, man, it kind of makes it look bad on them that they kept me in the cell for 12 hours for a traffic ticket. So that's not cool at all. But I'm gonna go ahead and get up out of here. So I got a lot of things to do today. So I'm gonna definitely I may go live with the with the city council situation. I'm damn sure gonna be live when I go to KPD. So y'all keep in tune. I hate to be taking up a lot of y'all time, but I appreciate y'all tuning in, and I'll see y'all on the next video, the next live. Big B Nation, we out. I appreciate y'all. Y'all enjoy y'all day. Ah!